Hey everybody, what's going on, and welcome to Guns N' Roses Central. And today we're talking about why Izzy Stradlin isn't part of the Guns N' Roses reunion, and I wanted to talk about some of the history, dating back a couple of years to when the reunion was first announced. So let's start in 2015 in the spring, before there was any news that Slash and Axl had actually patched up their differences and were actually talking once again. That happened in August of 2015, but let's go a few months earlier. So, March of 2015, it's reported that Duff McKagan and Izzy Stradlin have actually recorded a new song. So, Duff McKagan, according to the article in Ultimate Classic Rock, has completed a partial reunion with Guns N' Roses' former guitarist Izzy Stradlin. So, at that time, Duff had this to say. He said, "We were talking on the phone and Stradlin said, 'Let's go record a song,'" McKagan tells Vord Ricks. They completed the tune along with drummer Taz Bentley of Reverend Horton Heat fame at a studio owned by Josh Homme of Queens of the Stone Age. So there's a picture of them, and Taz Bentley has played a lot with Izzy over the years on different songs he's actually recorded. And McKagan had this to say as well. He said, "I have it," McKagan says, "of the track. It got mixed. It's a super kick-ass song, and we just had fun." The question, of course, is whether McKagan and Stradlin will explore the GNR offshoot more fully down the road, to which Duff said, "We will probably do it some more." McKagan confirms, "We're going to maybe record some more, but we just enjoy making music together and enjoy each other's company. We're allowed to do that." So the song that Duff and Izzy actually collaborated on was called "How to Be a Man," and it came out around the same time that Duff's second book, which had the same title, also came out. So to coincide with the book's release, Duff had actually released a 3-song EP, which featured collaboration with McKagan's former Guns N' Roses bandmate Izzy Stradlin, which we just talked about, Alice in Chains guitarist Jerry Cantrell, as well as Stone Sour drummer Ray Mayorga. So several months later, there were more rumors that Duff and Izzy were working on possibly an album together. And around that time, Duff had this to say to Classic Rock magazine about working with Izzy in the future. He said, "I really trust whatever he does if he says. I've got a part. I know he's got a part. It's not like, let me hear it. It's like, he's got the part. Good. That's taken care of." He explained, "I'd like to do more music with him for the rest of my life." Fast forward a couple weeks later, Slash gives an interview to a Swedish journalist where he reveals that him and Axl are now friends again and says that it was probably way overdue. Now, when Slash was actually pressed about whether this could lead to a Guns N' Roses classic reunion lineup, he says, "Oh, I couldn't answer that one." And pressed further, he said, "All right, let's get off that subject because that's an old one." And even earlier, Slash was asked in May of 2015 about the possibility of a Guns N' Roses reunion, to which he said, "I've got to be careful what I say there. I mean, if everybody wanted to do it and do it for the right reasons, I think the fans would love it. I think it might be fun at some point to try and do that." Rumors then start to heat up in late 2015 that Guns N' Roses are going to be playing Coachella and reuniting, at least partially reuniting with Axl, Slash, and Duff. And it isn't fully confirmed till early January that Guns will be playing Coachella with a reunited lineup, or at least partially reunited lineup. Now, what isn't clear at this point in time is who's going to be the rhythm guitarist for the band and who's going to be the actual drummer for the band. Is Steven Adler going to come back? Is Izzy going to come back? What's going to happen with Richard Fortus? And will we even see Matt Sorum make an appearance as well, or Gilby Clarke? So it also starts to come out that Izzy at one point had rehearsed with Guns N' Roses, but he just couldn't agree to a cameo fee with the actual band. So it was reported that Izzy was offered a 5-figure sum to actually reappear with the band. And it was also revealed through MSL on GNR Truth that apparently Axl, Slash, and Duff were not splitting the actual profits from the reunion tour equally. So apparently the profits were being split 36.3% to Axl, 33 and a third to Slash, and 30 and 1/3 to Duff. Now, shortly afterwards, it came out, and this was just a rumor, that Duff McKagan was rumored to be helping Slash with Guns N' Roses money due to his divorce to his second wife, Perla. So comedian Jim Florentine, who used to be on VH1's That Metal Show, recently discussed the Guns N' Roses reunion while appearing on Bill Burr's podcast. So he said supposedly the rumor with Guns N' Roses, they got back together. Slash is going through a divorce. I don't know if it's final yet. He had no prenup, married for 20 years in LA with 2 kids. He was going to lose them more than 50% of his money. Supposedly the cut is Axl gets 50, Slash gets 25, and Duff gets 25. And Axl will pay his other guys in the band. He's still got Richard Fortus, his drummer, and Dizzy Reed on keyboard. That comes out of Axl's money. And supposedly what I heard is that Duff is going to give some of his money to Slash because Duff has made so many good investments and has so much money that he's like, "Dude, you're going to need it," because he's trying to pay this divorce off the money he has to pay. Duff is actually giving Slash some of his money, and that's one of the amazing reasons they got back together. Axl never liked Slash's wife, so as soon as they got married 20 years ago or whatever, everything fell apart. As soon as they broke up, they started talking again and got the band back together. But supposedly Duff is giving a cut to Slash to help him out. We also hear some wild speculation that the Guns N' Roses reunion could feature up to 8 members, and it's even rumored that the current lineup of Guns N' Roses who would show up at Coachella include Chris Pittman, Richard Fortus, Dave Kushner, Velvet Revolver, Slash, Axl Rose, Duff McKagan, Dizzy Reed, and Frank Ferrar. And even at one point, people start tweeting at Dave Kushner, and he even stokes the rumor by saying maybe all of them are actually playing as part of the Guns N' Roses reunion, or maybe none. He says one can only hope, and then he tweets, "Oh boy." So even Guns N' Roses' former manager, Alan Niven, weighs in on the actual reunion. So he comes out and says that Izzy may be involved with the reunion. He said Izzy will sit on the sidelines until he feels like he wants to get his toes in the water, Niven said, describing the Axeman as the magic factor and absolutely crucial to Guns N' Roses. He continued by saying, "I think that he's even written with them," adding that the writing has taken place recently. Then in March of 2016, Izzy reaches out to Rolling Stone and actually clarifies all the rumors surrounding the reunion. So he actually opens up a Twitter account with the handle Izzy Stradlin 999, and it's confirmed by his fan site Chopaway, which is an Izzy Stradlin fan site and Twitter account as well. So basically he says, "At this point in time, I will not be playing any of the April 2016 GNR shows." So the actual author from Rolling Stone magazine, Andy Green, was the person that Izzy reached out to. And Andy was a little skeptical as to whether it was actually Izzy. So they started chatting via direct message on Twitter. And basically, he wanted to FaceTime with Izzy for about 15 seconds, or even asked Izzy to send a photo where he holds up his Twitter name on a sheet of paper. Izzy didn't respond and unfollowed Andy on Twitter, and basically deleted all of his messages to Andy as well. So Andy continues to badger Izzy to no avail, and eventually grew so desperate that he reached out to the audio analysis experts to see if they could compare the voicemail that Izzy left to old interviews, and they definitely said it was him. But then on Monday night, a few days later, Izzy DM'd him a 20-second video of him playing the 1971 Jonathan Edwards song Sunshine. He posted it on his public Twitter account as well, and at this point, there's virtually no doubt it was Izzy, and Rolling Stone went and posted the actual story. And then later on, a couple months after the Guns N' Roses reunion shows actually start, Matt Sorum and Izzy Stradlin actually team up to collaborate on a song called FP Money, or Fighter Pilot Money, with Matt Sorum on drums. And it was recorded and mixed by JT Longoria of Brotherin Studios, and it features Damon Fox on keyboards, Tony Babylon on bass, Rick Richards on lead guitar, and Stradlin on guitar and vocals. So at the time, Izzy talked about starting the actual collaboration with Matt Sorum. He said, "Matt Sorum and I crossed paths earlier this year, and both agreed it might be fun to one day throw down a new track and see what happens." Also around the same time, Matt Sorum said that he wouldn't rule out more recording with Izzy Stradlin down the road. So Matt Sorum said, "Izzy is great and his process is very rock and roll. He called in within a couple of days. We were in the studio cutting a couple of songs. He gets the inspiration and goes with it. Truly a great songwriter. You never know with Izzy. He could call tomorrow from Spain and say, 'Come on over, let's record.' I love that about him." Now, Steven Adler was around in 2016 and 2017 doing a lot of interviews. And the topic of Guns N' Roses and, the reunion and Izzy Stradlin came up. So Steven shared his thoughts on why he thinks Izzy hasn't been involved with the reunion. And according to Steven Adler, it's because he wants to do it like me, the right way, and not at all. And basically what Steven was saying is that Izzy either wants the 5 original members or he's not interested in doing it at all. Now, Steven Adler's explanation for why Izzy is not involved seems to differ from what Axl says, and also what Izzy himself has come out and said as well. So Axl and Duff were actually interviewed on Brazilian TV in September of 2016, and when asked about why Izzy was not present in the Not in This Lifetime tour, Axl had this to say: "I don't really know what to say about Izzy," shrugged Rose. "It's like you could have a conversation and think it's one way, and the next day it's another way. And I'm not trying to take any shots at Izzy, it's just his kind of thing, whatever that is." So about a day later, Izzy actually responded to Rose's comments via Twitter, declaring bullshit. They didn't want to split the loot equally. Simple as that, moving right along. There was 2 disclaimers, though. Stradlin doesn't specifically say who or what his tweet is in response to, and his Twitter account at that time, of course, and still is, unverified. So people think that money was the reason why Izzy was not interested in actually joining the reunion, although Steven claims it's because it's not the 5 original members. Now, if you guys follow Izzy on Twitter, it's a really strange Twitter account. He only has 3 tweets that are up as of recording this video, but he's tweeted a lot more. He's even tweeted to the @MyGNR forum and thanked them for the support over the years. And then he deletes his tweets, and even the tweet about him responding to Axl's comments has been deleted as well. And he's also unfollowed a bunch of people he used to follow. Like one guy he used to follow was John Oliver, which he no longer follows on Twitter. So I'm not sure why there's all this randomness on his Twitter account. Now, a lot of fans held out hope that we may finally see Izzy and Steven reunite with the band at the 30th anniversary show at the Apollo Theater in New York City. But sadly, it wasn't meant to be. Not even Steven Adler was invited or showed up to the actual event. And many fans are left wondering, what does the future hold for Guns N' Roses and Izzy Stradlin and the 5 original members actually coming together and performing once again on stage? So that does it for today's video, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are. Comment down below. I think it's important to remember that we thought the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was the last time that Guns would ever have the chance to reunite. That wasn't necessarily the case. So I think there's potential, as long as all these guys are alive, for Izzy and Steven to come back and rejoin these guys on stage. But I guess we'll just have to play the waiting game and wait and see. So thanks for watching, guys. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Be sure to let me know your thoughts down below. And be sure to support me on Patreon and follow me on social media. The links to my channels are down below. And hit the subscribe button if you love Guns N' Roses as much as I do. Take care.